Hi, this is my rudimentary attempt at trying to do a POC for how to integrate actionable voice into the open interpreter. So one of the ways in which I was thinking about this was in context of how do I begin to set the arguments associated with the open interpreter in terms of the command line arguments. And could I just do that in context of text? Because if I could do that in context of just text, then what I could do is when I have speech, I could translate that speech into through Whisper into text, and from the text itself be able to then be able to set these different command line arguments themselves. So this was my attempt in terms of how to conceptualize how to get in voice into the open interpreter from an actionable perspective. With that brief background, let's get started. So with this particular way of thinking, I just have an argument dictionary here, which is messages, local, auto run, debug mode, all of the things that an open interpreter dev are quite familiar with and things like that. And then let's say that I wanted to set certain variables to be different than what they are by default. And let's say that I want to set the auto run to true, right? So I can just say auto run true, and this should just set auto run to true. Notice that I'm just doing this in context of text itself, and that's it. I'm not doing anything else. And then what I can also do is I can say don't auto run, in which case I expect from the program level standpoint is to be able to say that set auto run to false, right? So let's see whether it does that as well associated with the auto run command. So I said don't auto run, and sure enough it set it back to false. Now let's say that I want to run two things at the same time. I want to say run local. I want to say auto run, and I want to say debug off, right? Or debug on, because it's set to off in any event. So here what I expect it to do is, of course, I expect it to understand the fact that I've said DBG, and DBG should be inferred to be the debug mode, and then it should be set to true. So sure enough it did this, right? It said local, so local is equal to true, auto run, and then debug is equal to debug mode is equal to true as well. Similarly, if I do remote and I say temp 30 and I say ctx win, which means context window, notice I'm not hard coding any of these things, so whatever works, right? So it can be Windows or whatever, doesn't really matter. And I can set it to 4096, and then I expect it to say that the context window is 4096, the temperature is 30, and it is remote. So from local it should change to remote as well and things. So let's see whether it does that with enough amount of fidelity in it. And sure enough, it changed all of these things. So now with that particular POC being there, because now I'm able to just do these command lines in context of text. So now what I can do is in another demo, what I'll do is I'll convert my speech into text, and then from that text I'll use that as input to be able to go against this particular interface that I've built. And this is how I'm thinking about the voice in context of the open interpreter. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll come back with another video soon. Thanks, bye.